Okay, so in this video I'm basically I've got a toy keyboard which doesn't have any input-output jacks, so I just want to put a headphone jack into it, because previously you can record, but you have to kind of run the risk of annoying your neighbours, so and I'm using a voltage inverter on the power supply, so it goes from centre positive to centre negative. It's a useful thing to have. There's about 15-20 screws to undo, but don't undo the grey metal. That's actually the back of the keyboard for adjusting it. This being a toy keyboard, this is a 90s keyboard, so it's quite easy to circuit bend, but you see the switches on the left hand side. Or the switch bases. You've got to find the contact points for those and bridge those if you want to work on it with it open, because it relies on the top, the yellow and teal piece and the switches being in contact with stuff. So first thing I want to do is to extend the wires, give myself a little bit more space to work with. And that's actually a 3-watt speaker. It's meant to be a 2-watt according to the circuit design. And it's quite underdriven as well, so the modification that I'm doing with the resistors are actually quite low value resistors compared to what you think it should be. So I'm putting a jack into the side, and then it's going to be basically a matter of dropping the amount of power coming out of it using resistors. And I'm going to be using a resistor bridge, which is basically you go through one resistor and then take a point off the middle to earth. So this is the jack I'm using. Instead of just sleeve and tip, it's got an X connection, which is there's a switch built into it if there's no plug going, and then the X is connected to the O. Otherwise, if there is a plug in there, it's connected to the C. So that allows me to switch back and forth between the main speaker and the output. So that bridge there is basically the circuit that I'm using. And what that does is it just reduces the transients and the power. It's a fairly simple sort of design, and it's the one that I use on everything that I modify like this. So basically nice big gobs of hot glue to make sure that nothing can get shorted out, and that's pretty much the end of the modification. And I gave myself a whole bunch of extra wire so that I can open the thing up a bit more easily. And it goes from being kind of useful to actually having quite funky sound. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't play piano, so I'm going to stop now. Yep, bye.